Then I checked the pipe. It was still plugged, but I was under no illusions. It might take time, but eventually the rats would gnaw through the canvas. I had to do better. I took a bag of Portland cement around to the house well and mixed up a batch in an old pail. Back in the barn, while I waited for it to thicken, I poked the swatch of canvas even deeper into the pipe. I got it in at least 2 feet, and those last 2 feet I packed with cement. By the time Henry got back, and in fine spirits, he had indeed taken Shannon, and they had shared an ice cream soda bought with change from the errands. It had hardened. I suppose a few of the rats must have been out foraging, but I had no doubt I'd immured most of them, including the one that had savaged poor Eloise, down there in the dark. And down there in the dark they would die. If not of suffocation, then of starvation once their unspeakable pantry was exhausted. So I thought then. In the years between 1916 and 1922, even stupid Nebraska farmers prospered. Harlan Cottery, being far from stupid, prospered more than most. His farm showed it. He added a barn and a silo in 1919, and in 1920 he put in a deep well that pumped an unbelievable 6 gallons per minute. A year later, he added indoor plumbing, although he sensibly kept the backyard privy. Then, 3 times a week, he and his womenfolk could enjoy what was an unbelievable luxury that far out in the country, hot baths and showers supplied not by pots of water heated on the kitchen stove but from pipes that first brought the water from the well and then carried it away to the sump. It was the shower bath that revealed the secret Shannon Cottery had been keeping, although I suppose I already knew, and had since the day she said, "He sparked me," all right, speaking in a flat, lusterless voice that was unlike her, and looking not at me but off at the silhouettes of her father's harvester and the gleaners trudging behind it. This was near the end of September, with the corn all picked for another year but plenty of garden harvesting left to do. One Saturday afternoon, while Shannon was enjoying the shower bath, her mother came along the back hall with a load of laundry she'd taken in from the line early, because it was looking like rain. Shannon probably thought she had closed the bathroom door all the way. Most ladies are private about their bathroom duties, and Shannon Cottery had a special reason to feel that way as the summer of 1922 gave way to fall, but perhaps it came off the latch and swung open partway. Her mother happened to glance in, and although the old sheet that served as a shower curtain was pulled all the way around on its U-shaped rail, the spray had rendered it translucent. There was no need for Sally to see the girl herself. She saw the shape of the girl, for once without one of her voluminous Quaker-style dresses to hide it. That was all it took. The girl was 5 months along, or near to it. She probably could not have kept her secret much longer in any case. Two days later, Henry came home from school. He now took the truck, looking frightened and guilty. Sean hasn't been there the last 2 days, he said, so I stopped by Cottery's to ask if she was all right. I thought she might have come down with the Spanish flu. They wouldn't let me in. Mrs. Cottery just told me to get on, and said her husband would come to talk to you tonight, after his chores were done. I asked if I could do anything, and she said, "You've done enough, Henry." Then I remembered what Sean had said. Henry put his face in his hands and said, "She's pregnant, Papa, and they found out." I know that's it. We want to get married, but I'm afraid they won't let us. Never mind them, I said. I won't let you. He looked at me from wounded, streaming eyes. Why not? I thought, you saw what it came to between your mother and me and you even have to ask? But what I said was, she's 15 years old, and you won't even be that for another 2 weeks. But we love each other. Oh, that loon-like cry. That milksop hoot. My hands were clenched on the legs of my overalls, and I had to force them open and flat. Getting angry would serve no purpose. A boy needed a mother to discuss a thing like this with, but his was sitting at the bottom of a filled-in well, no doubt attended by a retinue of dead rats. I know you do, Henry. Hank. And others get married that young. Once they had, not so much since the century turned and the frontiers closed. But this I didn't say. What I said was that I had no money to give them a start. Maybe by 25, if crops and prices stayed good, but now there was nothing. And with a baby on the way. There would be enough. He said. If you hadn't been such a bugger about that 100 acres, there'd be plenty. She would have given me some of it. And she wouldn't have talked to me this way. At first I was too shocked to say anything.